It was during the time of Judges that a famine hit the land. And so a certain man from Bethlehem decided that he would take his wife and his sons. They would cross the Jordan River and settle in the land of Moab. They had been there only 10 years when the man died. His sons took Moabite women for wives, and soon after that, both of the sons died. And now the wife, Naomi, was left in Moab with no husband, with no sons, but she had her 2 daughters-in-law. Now Naomi learned that the famine had ended, and so she made the decision to return to her home in Bethlehem. The women had not traveled too long when Naomi stopped and said to her daughters-in-law, "Go, return each of you to the home of your mother, and may God deal kindly with you as you have dealt kindly with me. May God grant you security, each of you, in the home of a husband." The women embraced, they cried, and both of the daughters-in-law said, "No, we don't want to leave you. We will go to your people." But Naomi said, "Why would you go with me? I have nothing left to give you. I have no sons for you to marry. Even if I were to have a husband tonight and we were to have a son, would you wait for him to grow up to marry one of you? No, this has been far more bitter for me than for you, for the Lord God has turned his hand against me." One of the daughters-in-law, Orpah, she hugged Naomi and she turned and she left. But the other daughter-in-law, Ruth, she clung to Naomi. Naomi said, "See, your sister-in-law, she leaves. She's going to her people, going back to her gods. Follow her and do the same." But Ruth said, "Don't make me leave you. Don't make me turn back from following you. Where you go, I'll go. Where you live, I'll live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried." Naomi came to realize that Ruth was determined to stay with her. And so nothing more was said, and the 2 women turned and completed their journey to Bethlehem. Now, when they arrived in the city, the women of Bethlehem were astir. They said, "Is this our Naomi returning to us?" But Naomi said, "Call me no longer Naomi. Call me Mara, for the Lord God has dealt bitterly with me. I left here a full woman, but he has returned me empty. Why call me Naomi when the Lord has dealt harshly with me? He has delivered calamity to me." Naomi and Ruth settled in their home in Bethlehem, and they had arrived there right at the beginning of the barley harvest. Now, life for the 2 women was difficult, and so one day Naomi sent Ruth to work in the fields of a kinsman named Boaz. Ruth was to follow behind the reapers, and she would glean the grain that had fallen upon the ground. When Boaz arrived at his field, he saw the young woman working, and he asked his servants, "Who is that?" And they said, "Oh, that is the Moabite woman who returned with Naomi. She's been here since early morning working. She has not taken a break and has been on her feet all day." Boaz approached her and he said, "My daughter, stay here in my fields. Don't go anywhere else to glean. Stay near my women and you'll be safe. I've instructed my men not to bother you, and when you grow thirsty, go to our water vessels and help yourself to drink." Ruth knelt before Boaz and said, "How is it that I have found favor with you? I am a foreigner." And Boaz said, "I have heard the stories of all that you have done for Naomi since you both lost your husbands. I've heard how you left your father and your mother, You left your land and you came here to live among a people that you don't know. May the Lord reward you for all that you have done, and may you find shelter under the wings of the God of Israel, to whom you have come for refuge." Ruth thanked him and returned to her work. Later, when it was mealtime, Boaz found Ruth, and he said, "Come, sit here and enjoy this bread." And so Ruth sat among all the reapers eating the bread, and soon Boaz brought her a heaping portion of the parched grain. Ruth ate until she was satisfied, and then took the remainder and wrapped it up that she could bring it home to Naomi that night. Boaz instructed his men, "As you're working, pull some handsful of grain from your bundles and throw it upon the ground, that she will have enough to glean." Ruth came home that night. She showed Naomi all that she had harvested, and she gave her the extra food. She told Naomi about the kindness of Boaz. Oh, Naomi was amazed by all of this. She said, "He is indeed our kinsman, and do as he says. Stay close to his women, and you'll be safe." And so it was that every day Ruth returned to the fields of Boaz, and she worked through the barley harvest and through the harvest of the wheat.